So nevertheless, would you like to go now to where apparently you're right, Brian Last. You are correct, sir. You have called something that is unfolding in front of our eyes, and it's being denied. That's why we know it's going to happen. You know what I'm talking about?
Something to do with the panties?
No, we're not talking about that on the air.
Oh.
Bronson Reed and Seth Franklin Rollins being added to the War Games, number 5 and number 5. You called this before we saw this program the other day, didn't you? Or did you?
I said something, but I don't want to take credit for it.
Well, I don't know. I can't keep track of the times. All these days are but a blur, ticking away the moments that make up a dull day, frittering and wasting the hours in an offhand way. But at 9 o'clock...
Panties.
The witching hour. Panty, what do you... Bronson Reed came out to the ring and did a promo about Seth. And if you want your revenge, I'm here in the ring right now. I mean, my God, again, it's the same pattern. It's the same thing. And once an hour, somebody comes out to the ring, mentions somebody's name or calls them out. They instantly appear, and here we go. And the buildings are packed, and these people are making a fortune. They're printing money. Printing and minting. And here comes Seth, and he hits the ring, and they have a fight, and they're going to do the desk thing. But Seth dives on Reed before Reed can splash on Seth, and security comes out for a big pull apart, and Bronson Reed does a dive through the ropes that Seth dodges, and he takes out security like a bowling ball through bowling pins. And here comes Pierce, and we go to the break. And we come back from the break, and Rollins, I want Bronson Reed. And Adam Pearce is, fine, I'm sick of you people. Next week, you can have Bronson Reed. And he walks off. And then Sammy comes in. And he makes the pitch. He's a very reasonable fellow, is Sami Zayn. Very calm and level-headed, and tries to appeal to your better angels. And he tells Seth why that he should be the 5th guy on their War Games team because of the family bond between Seth and Roman. Nobody else can do this. You're our 5th guy. And Seth says, you're out of your fucking mind. I'm going to have nothing to do with Roman Reigns or building him back up. I don't want to discuss this any further. Good day to you, sir. So now you know what's going to happen, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
I know what's going to happen. And you know what? Well, let's talk about it, though. Under the idea that it's going to happen, and Reed and Rollins will be added to the 2 sides in War Games, and we'll talk about the rest of the show, or you will. Is it the right move? If you need 5 guys, and you kind of do it, there have been 4-on-4 War Games, but 5-on-5 is really War Games. Are these the right 2 guys to add to the match, considering the kind of feud they've had?
Well, yes, I think Seth works because of the Roman thing and the checkered past they've had. And Reed looks vaguely Samoan because he's from Australia with, I assume, some island blood of that type over there. I don't know what all the fucking strains are.
You could stop, but I don't know.
It could be the Andromeda strain. But here's the thing, and yes, there is, because it's a hot angle now that they're in this thing where it's a hot angle. But I wouldn't have been bothered by 4-on-4 because this is the 4 people, right? It's like you're not even evening up a dinner party by inviting the girl for the odd guy or vice versa. You're making it an odd number. There's 4 members of the original faction and 4 current members of this faction, unless they were going to introduce a 5th member of the heel group to where the baby faces had to search for someone outside the current party. then I think they could have gone 4-on-4 and just kept it more focused and done something with Seth and Reed more individually. I know they've done those, but they're going to do more.
And we've heard like time after time, it must be 2 or 3 times now, every few months, they've signed another member of the family. Like there was Heckel, the giant. There's another one of the Anawai family. I don't know who. There's another Fatu out there. And we keep hearing they're signing one after another, but we don't see them up here. So we'll see.
Well, but at the same time, you got to be careful.
Is this Heyman's return? It has to be Heyman's return, right? He escorts these guys to the cage?
No.
You don't think so?
This is not I don't think it's a big enough deal. No, and not a multiple person.
Or The Rock.
The Rock might pop up to, come out and pose or be involved, whatever. But with one at a time there, Cowboy. What I'm with Heyman, that's some type of major singles match involving Roman. I don't know whether it's Royal Rumble. It might even be WrestleMania. They don't need it right now. I mean, he's still there behind the scenes. It's not like he's been exiled, but they don't need him on television because they're still building wherever this is going. But I don't think he would show back up for a 10-man War Games, whatever the case may be. And I don't think he'll show back up until somebody does something fairly heinous to Roman Reigns to begin with. But that's just me. Speaking of heinous, go ahead.
I was going to say maybe he needs to get on the phone and call Roman Reigns with Mint Mobile.
Well, that's where Heyman's been, actually. He's on the road right now. He's undergone a press and publicity tour because the phone plan that he has hooked up to his famous phone is Mint Mobile. And that's how he's able to afford those suits, because he only pays $15 a month for his phone plan. And to be honest, I wish the phone plan that he'd have had 35 years ago when he hit me with that phone was a little lighter.
But it's not the phone plan, that's the actual phone.
Well, it wouldn't have hurt to lighten it up the plan a little bit too.
You don't know what his plan was?
Well, I know what his plan was, to get me the fuck out of WCW. But nevertheless, folks, if you've got a plan that you would like to execute, or a person you'd like to execute with a particular plan, whatever, you're not going to find a better plan. It's almost a plot over at Mint Mobile. They have carefully set in basements and dimly lit rooms with the curtains drawn late at night and concocted these revolutionary and radical ideas on how you don't have to pay a lot for your telephone service. And you not only get to talk on the phone. Lord knows the children don't do much of that anymore. You're going to get to text. So mommy and daddy can just hand you the phone and say, text all of our friends and stay put in the corner and you'll be happy, kids. You get to text. You get the high-speed data. You can watch all the various TikToks and flip-flops and monkey flips that are on the internet. And it's on the nation's largest 5G network. You know what that means, Brian? I found out what that means, the 5G network.
You just found out? What did you find out it means, and from who?
I found out it's when you walk up to one of those big towers and you say, gee, that's a big tower. Their towers are so big, you say gee 5 times. You're like, gee. You've
been hanging out with Hotchkiss
that's
again.
A big tower.
You've been hanging out with Hotchkiss again, haven't you?
Well, he clued me in on it because he used to work for the phone company. Actually, he was one of the people that came and fucking stuck the poles in the ground. But anyway, so that's what it is. But these towers are big, folks. I'm telling you, they tower over everything. If they're not bolted to the ground properly, they can turn over and take out a swath a half a mile of downtown. But Mint Mobile's not responsible for that now. That would be an act of God, so you can't sue them. So if you want a plan with high-speed data, unlimited talk and text, and the nation's largest 5G network, as long as you don't try to sue them if a tower falls on your head, you can go right now to mintmobile.com/JCE And you're going to get 3 months of premium wireless service for $15 a month. Formerly, they would have to come and string wires to your home. And then you'd have the wires running in through the kitchen window or maybe coming down the fireplace chimney.
This isn't the 1880s.
And hanging
what
on the wall.
About? That's not,
but
no.
No, that's what I'm saying. This is a wireless network, so you don't have to worry about no one will come to your home. No salesman will call. And they don't have to come and plug you in or wire you up or anything. You go to mintmobile.com and they can /JCE and they can fix you up right there. You don't even have to schedule somebody to come over and climb up on your roof. And I thought I'd never get that guy out of the chimney. He got stuck halfway down. And it was cold too. I was ready to start a fire.
Again, let's I don't know where you're going right now. You sicko. But let's get back to Mint Mobile.
After he'd been there for 3 or 4 days, he lost enough weight that we were able to pull him down with that rope that he had tied around his ankle. Anyway, once again, folks, to get the new customer offer and your new 3-month premium wireless plan, it was right around his ankle, right down there. His foot almost came off. For just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/JCE. That's mintmobile.com/JCE. $45 for 3 months. I'm telling you, you can't beat it. It's like a sore Peter or a busted drum. You just can't beat it. $45 upfront payment required, which is equivalent to $15 a month. New customers on the first 3-month plan only. Speed slower above 40 GB on the unlimited plan, but you'll never notice. Additional taxes, fees, and restrictions may and possibly will apply. See Mint Mobile for all the details.
All right, Mint Mobile, friends of ours, they can be friends of yours. Of course, as always.
Well, if you are nice to them, they'll be nice to you, but I don't think we should make any assumptions that the people at Mint Mobile who are fine people are just going to have to automatically like any asshole.
Well, mintmobile.com/JCE.
Speaking of any asshole.
Hey, fuck you.
Well, I was talking about me.
Oh, hey, don't talk about yourself like that. That's not nice.
Well, fuck you.
Hey, that's not nice either.